Hi everyone, welcome. It's been a while, hasn't it? Like a week. That is so unusual for me, but I want to explain why. My my camera failed, my video camera. And I've tried everything, and I finally figured it out. It was the chip. I switched out the chips, I tried all these different things, and the chips that I already had were an older format, and they wouldn't work in the camera. So I finally went to the store, had to go to another town, to the Walmart, and purchase a new SD card for my video camera so I could actually record. It won't record without an SD card. And so I have felt so weird not being able to record for you. But I have made a few things, I just couldn't video them because of not being able to video. So anyway, one of the things that I generally work on and don't record, but I thought, hey, since I haven't been able to record, I would record this for you all. And that is the making of, this is Mom's. It's actually my grandmother's, but my mother was one that modified it and taught me. Is to make you've seen me make tallow bars, tallow cream, and these sort of things before. This one is more specialized because of the raw, fresh, not raw. It's ultra refined, actually, by a local producer here. During the recent freeze, I talked to you about the dead cattle and 2 mother sheep from a local farm also did not make it. Long story short, their babies luckily were able to be moved to another mother who was fine, and they were sheared and then boiled for the lanolin. And then the lanolin was triple filtered, and I purchased it through a trade of goat milk. So this is local. I've got local wildflower beeswax. I have local honey. Local lanolin, excuse me. And of course, this is the actual sheep tallow. So this one is a bit sheep forward. There's a what's it? That's what I call them. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is slow heat this. So I'm going to move all of this into my slow heat. Well, I'll show you here. So let me move all this aside and we'll get started. And then I'll explain what this is actually for, why I'm making this. Alrighty, so now I'm going to start getting my ingredients in here. That's a lot of tallow. It's 86 ounces, I believe, of tallow. Miss that. So I'm going to slow heat this over here in the double boiler for a bit, until these ingredients get melted and reduced down a bit before we add our wonderful beeswax. And then we'll talk a bit more about the actual ingredients. All right, terrific. I personally love the smell of these ingredients. I love the smell of the tallow. It is very mild. Of grass-fed animals. Again, one of the benefits of animals not fed on heavy grains. And the tallow has a very pure, clean aroma because it has been triple filtered and refined down. It has very little odor. So I've got this on medium heat here on the double boiler. I'm going to let this sit, and we'll come back and then we'll get our beeswax added. Alright, so we're getting there. Now I will have to heat it up just a bit more when I get ready to melt the beeswax. Now, here's what I'll tell you about this formulation. It's very healing. As long as you don't have allergies to things like sheep tallow or sheep lanolin, which is a protective layer of oils and waxes that are naturally formed under the wool of the sheep. So the sheep is not hurt to get the lanolin. You shave off the wool and you boil it. I'll try to put some video of that on the screen for you. But it's a very basic kind of a process that does no harm to the sheep and adds great benefit to us. It is used in things like lanolin is used in a lot of different products, such as foot care, hand care for extremely dry situations. It is used in products for new mothers for applying to the breasts when they're tender. It helps with healing. So it has a lot of benefits and has been used for millennia for the care of the skin. Now, some of the attributes of it are that it's a humectant, meaning it attracts moisture. It is a emollient. It helps to bring moisture to the skin and hold moisture to the skin. And the beeswax helps to kind of bind this all together, because right now with the tallow will be soft with the addition of the lanolin, so it doesn't really hold up very well. It doesn't have a lot of structure. So by adding the beeswax, we're adding structure to the balm so that it will hold together better. But I'm not adding a large amount. I won't be adding all of this, but I'll be adding a good portion. This is going to be more of a creamy, buttery consistency rather than a hard balm. All right, our beeswax is nearly melted here now. I've had to do this kind of low and slow. You do have to turn it up a little to get the beeswax to melt, but I decided to do it at a lower temperature, which means that it took a little longer for the beeswax to melt. But it maintains, I believe, more of the structures of the lanolin and the tallow. And I love the smell. This is a very fragrant beeswax. I don't know if you saw the video where I actually made these cubes out of a rather large, I think it was a nearly 40-pound block, and I broke it down into these just to make it easier to use. But, all right, so we're now completely melted, and now I want to show you the great containers that I've got for these. I just love them, and I'm looking forward to sharing them with you all. All right, so our beeswax is completely melted now, and I'm going to add now about a tablespoon of vitamin E. This is a very thick, natural vitamin E. Very, very good for the skin, and it also helps to eliminate rancidity in oils. And lanolin, being a natural oil and wax from the sheep, is prone to rancidity, especially with unstable temperatures, and vitamin E will help prevent that from happening. A little tip I hope you'll carry with you. To this, I've added just ever so little oregano essential oil for its antibacterial qualities, a couple drops of vetiver for its antiviral qualities, and a little bit of caraway seed, which also helps to support those additional benefits. So I'm actually going to pour this into a beaker to make it easier to pour into these smaller containers. And I just adore these little glass flip-top jars. Aren't they great? I just think they're quite attractive. Plus they seal so that they, again, keeping fresh and moist. This is going to be a very light, easily spreadable like butter. And this will really help keep it protected. Of course, this will include a spatula. So I've discovered that the best way to pour these, because they're so small, is just to do them individually, like so. So I can avoid hitting the others as I'm pouring. Because I do want to keep this very clean. It makes life easier. Little messes like that have to be wiped up, and I don't want to create any more of that. So a careful pour is the solution. I really like the consistency of this. It's not sticky as lanolin is because of the tallow and the beeswax, which kind of binds it all together after it was melted. It just creates this kind of a lovely humectant, emollient, lovely feel. And there's so many things on the market that used to be made with lanolin that are now made with petroleum oil. And I won't get into a discussion about why you may or may not want to use petroleum-based products. That's completely up to you. Petroleum even comes from, keep in mind, it is a natural item. It comes from oil. Oil, where does oil come from? Where does crude oil come from? It comes from the earth. It comes from millions of years of dissolving organic materials, right? So what's organic and what is natural can be up to discussion. But what I'll say about lanolin, in a mixture like this, does it look oily to you? It may a little bit, because first of all, you see how little I put on? It doesn't take very much at all. Less than a pea size is more than you need for your hands. Now, if you're covering a larger area, then you maybe want to use a little more, but not much. It does not take very much at all. And one of the things that many people use it for are things like eczema and psoriasis, who claim that it gives them a relief from the itching, from the drying of that. So I think it's certainly worth a try. I know on my dry skin this time of the year, it feels really good to me. I never had dry skin, but as I've aged, my skin does get a lot drier than it did when I was younger. That's what aging is, right? But where we can, if we can add a little of nature back to what nature has taken away, I don't see the harm in that. As a matter of fact, I see a great value in it. Hope you enjoyed the making of this lovely Lanolin Love. I think it is great stuff. It doesn't have a strong fragrance. It does not have a long-lasting greasy feel or anything like that. But what it does do, and this is partially due to the beeswax too, it will help to attract moisture to your skin, but also hold it there to help it from drying. So I hope you'll give it a try or make some yourself. Matter of fact, I'm going to put the recipe, my recipe, in the description so you can give it a try yourself. All right? Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye.